Dude, on the record, he put his hand on the Bible straight up, okay? Non-human.
And like we're fucking up like all of this.
You
right
landed
now.
on the wrong planet.
Yeah. It's the wrong time to land. This is not the right time to land.
Not the right time.
I know. Yeah, yes.
Where they'd be like, the government's trying to program your minds. The waves are coming from the radio set. They just saw kids get trampled and die, and they're just thinking like, you know what? I can't wait to go to Travis Scott's show. That sounds like a great utopia, place I want to go. You remember back when the day when you had to like sign into like Facebook or like MySpace and it said you had to be 18? I thought if you clicked 18 and you weren't 18, I thought the feds would knock on the door like, but what is it about being 15 and being a degenerate, you know? Why is 15-year-olds?
Because like you get unlocked a whole bunch of different things, man.
But why not like 10? Why not like 24? Like what is it about 15 at this number?
It's the teens, man. It's the teens.
Yo, what's up? What's good? How y'all doing? We back. It's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we got issues, but we're back at it again with the white vans. Welcome to the After Dark edition, beginning of the never ending. I got my boy, Mr. Jonnie Bars with me, and we're about to get into some wild stuff today. So two main topics. Just to run them down quickly, right? The first thing we want to talk about is this whole like UFO situation, okay? Because dude, it's the UFOs.
Yes.
It's always a good time to talk about that, right? And then the second thing we're going to be talking about is Utopia. Travis Scott's, thing, because Travis Scott, it was in some real ugly waters, about a year or two ago, right? I think it was. So I'm really excited to jump into these two worlds, speaking with the artist.
Yeah.
And, jump into it, So first things first, UFOs. So I'm going to play this clip. We janky out here, so we actually don't really have a way to play this on the stream. But I can just thug life it and give it to you guys like an OG. So let me see if we can get it done. So we're gonna play it on the mic. So here we go.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super. Thank you.
That is wild. For those who don't know what just happened right there, okay? We're talking about a government agency. Like, so this is Miss Mace. Shout outs to her.
Yes.
Oh my God, asking the right questions finally, because we talking about people is like, how does the internet work? Like, we need real people in the office to really answer these questions, right?
For real.
And so finally, someone was actually asking, like, yo, there's crash landings. We're talking about there's videos.
Yes.
Are these like human or not human? Non-human. He saw, dude, on the record, he put his hand on the Bible straight up. Okay, non-human. My dude. This is real life right now.
Yes,
this is OG. Like, we're talking about real Holyfield.
Yes. Like,
do you think it's accurate? Do you think he's just like on some cap, or like do you think?
No, I think it's something that like people have known, you know what I mean, for as long as I've been alive, for that there's something else that's out there and that's been out there, and that, the government is always hiding and BSing, and that's why they couldn't give any names or provide information, because like one, the internet would tear them apart. Like, seriously, like,
dude,
their lives would be ruined if they were mentioned during that hearing. That would be crazy.
That'd be what? But like, there's people. He said there's people in the government agency that knows
specific
and out.
Yes,
and he has specific names of people, government agencies, the whole nine. To give. See, one of the things I'm really interested about this whole extraterrestrial thing, right, is that like they can't be that much advanced. They can be, but not like they're not like superhuman. Like we're not like in the movies. Like they're like they're like like built differently because clearly we jacking them up. So as soon as they land, they dying or we taking them hostage. Like they're not like
you watch too much Independence Day and Simpsons and all that stuff.
You're thinking that they're gonna come out.
I don't think that like it would be smart to come into like actual like physical contact with any other. We're fucking up our life force right now. Do you know what I mean? Like we're fucking up like all of this.
You landed on the wrong planet.
It's the wrong time to land. This is not the right time to land.
Not the right time.
That's why we see like just little clips of certain things and just like, but like no, it's gonna get pretty real pretty soon because even like last year they were making they were trolling about going to Area 51, storming Area 51.
Trying to figure it out.
Yo.
They were ready to light them up. As soon as they come across that border, they were ready to light them up. And that's always like, yo, this is wild.
Yes.
They're about to do the Naruto runs and like, just that's straight up Naruto run on Area 51.
It's going to be crazy. But
it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
People are going to go bananas. You think they're not going to, they just got confirmation.
Yes.
This is like, he said non-human. Listen, people. Okay. Now, it could be like let's break that down, right? It could be an animal.
Yeah.
He could be. That could be a juke.
Yeah, but still, nah. I feel like it's something more than that because he didn't like. I don't know. It just seemed a little sus. It seemed sus, like it wasn't like just like an animal that you just find anywhere, or just like something that you just find anywhere. This is like
crash landing. Of course, it's not no animal, right?
Yeah.
It's non-human.
Right.
That's just wild.
Yes.
That's just like really, really wild to think about, right?
Bro. Yo.
But so that's what I'm thinking, right? So we have billions and billions of years, right? There's already been known that there's hundreds of millions of galaxies out there, right? If not more, right?
Yeah.
Of infinite possibilities. To say that we're the only ones.
Yes.
It's just a little bit kind of like you got a little too much ego. I think there's definitely something out there, but I don't think it's to the level that we're thinking. Like they're super hyper intelligent, right?
Yeah.
I think we all began around the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit. Okay, guys, listen. This is coming from a complete. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So chat, listen. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I just need you to know. Don't be like looking at me like, yo, Gio, you need to do. You need to do your research. Like, because then it's gonna be a YouTube video after another YouTube. Now I'm sucked into the dark hole, and then I believe in flat Earth. I mean, I can't be spending all my days. When someone comes on and I know it's a clip, right? When someone comes on, it's like, yeah, man, that shit exists.
Yeah.
Then you kind of get yourself thinking like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible? I'm going to say hypothetically, right?
Okay.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
We're going to have a hypothetically stream. Everybody in chat, hypothetically. Do you think it's possible that they have infiltrated government? Like they're like, like they're like clones or something. Like they joined the government. They have been keeping the information secret because they're now kind of a part of the you ever see like
a possibility.
The reptilian? You ever kind of heard of that? Like
how Men in Black.
Like the reptilian men, or like so like there's like another race, but it's like under the earth and no one knows about them.
Yeah, it's only certain few.
Or like Bohemian, like what was it called?
Yes, no, I feel that.
They're like the owl gods and
the Anunnaki, like what Absol used to talk about. Yeah.
Can you? I haven't heard. Okay, light me up on this. Okay, do you remember this? The context of that?
Anunnaki, this is the Anunnaki flow. This is he was talking about Nibiru, Planet X. This was like years ago, back when like Ill Roots and like, Dat Piff was like popping and shit. So he talked about Planet X, and then I looked into it, and it's like another planet outside of the 9 planets. And it's a so-called 10 planet. It's Nibiru. I read about lightly because I didn't want to dive into the rabbit hole. But it talked about Anunnaki being like, I believe it was like they were gods and goddesses and people who were just like they had certain responsibilities or tasks or certain things that they were gods of music, gods of like
got
dance,
it
right. So like there was something that happened where it was like those type of people like Anunnaki and like the normal common people, and then I think don't quote me on this, but I believe like there was something that happened to where they took off, and so like they're in another whatever and left like the people here, and then like that's how it.
Oh, so they're saying that literally just like they had a conflict or something,
yes,
and they just said, you know what, you stay here, we're gonna go to this 10th planet and start our own better civilization type of thing.
I believe so, or just like they it's always been like something where they were like it's like intertwined with like actual people, and then it just became like this thing. So, but I don't know though, because I feel like the government is always the type where they like to spoon feed you different things because they don't want you to be overwhelmed with like what's really happening outside in the world. And I feel like that's why the school curriculum teaches you about like Thanksgiving, but it doesn't teach you about like the real reason or the real thing that happened with like pilgrims coming and slaughtering Native Americans and stuff like that. Like it's being spoon fed certain things because I don't know. It's just like.
So I'll give my opinion on this because this is something I feel is huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is a form of education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a ton of institutions who dictate what other people should learn and consume.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the big thing that I find is really kind of odd, right? So you also have the internet.
Yes.
And if someone knew, right? If someone knew. I mean, how hard is it to make something like viral like that? Because one of the things I found was really interesting was WikiLeaks. Remember WikiLeaks came out when they started showing people like us nuking, like just like destroying hospitals and just killing people like civilians. Knowing that these are civilians in there, like dropping bombs on them.
Yep.
Like like that was crazy.
Yo, like, I mean, even with Reddit, you know what I mean? Like,
oh man,
bro, like there's just so many things that's just dehumanized us. So. That's kind of like in Twitter, and Twitter's like a whole thing in itself. So yeah, it's just like when you have those factors that come in, it creates like this chaos, and that's what it's been. You know what I mean? Like since the beginning of the internet, since you can be able to shoot videos on YouTube or just like, you know what I mean, have like 15 seconds of Vine. It's nothing but chaos. Like it's people thinking that they're seeing like UFOs when really it's just like something that's just like in the wind because they're at a rave or an event. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
I also feel like there is something that's always been out there. It's just right now is just not the right time to come down to earth.
Someone has to figure this out. Someone has to know. That's the most interesting question.
Yo, they have people that know we're gonna find out soon.
No, we have to because he said right after this meeting. He didn't say like probably like 3 weeks from now.
Yeah,
no. Right after this meeting, and Miss Mace, unless if you find out 2 weeks from later, God forbid, I don't have she's like Miss Mace has passed in a tragic car accident. You know what I mean?
Not at all. She got sick. Yo.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
I'd be like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't think that's possible. I think a lot of times when I hear people say like these big conspiracy theories, specifically with government trying to like control what people think. Yeah. I think that is a context, but I don't think it's that because the government has this evil agenda of trying to destroy people or like trying to make them like sheep or whatever. I think it's more of just like the government's trying to protect people from themselves. And when you do that, you can go too far, right? Like the whole kind of like seatbelt thing. Like you got to put on a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You're like, no, but you gotta put on a seatbelt, and if you don't put on a seatbelt, we're gonna fine you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, right? And then it's like, okay, but you gotta put on a seatbelt, and you're gonna fine you, and we're gonna make your insurance go up. If you're like, damn, dude, like, okay, like what is going on? It's like this
manipulation at some point.
It's almost at a point where you're trying to shift the thought process behind something.
Yeah,
I was reading a really good book by Jonnie Dr. Wayne Dyer. In his book, he talks about sit in silence, right?
Yeah.
So he brings up like a moment. It's like, let's say you're driving and you hit a stoplight, right? Go into silence. Like literally like close your eyes and just like try to just, because there's so much noise around you. There's so much things, like all these things trying to tell you how to think, how to act, how to operate, how to conform, how to do this, right?
Talk to him.
Literally, take a seat.
Yes.
Sit in the park. Like literally, I don't park the car, but like stop the car.
Yes.
Light is red.
Yes.
Close your eyes and just try to enter the silence and take a breath.
Yeah.
Just take a breath. Turn off the music. Just go into silence. Take a breath. He's like, don't worry. Don't worry about the light.
Bro.
Because someone's going to honk and let you know it's time to go.
Yeah, nah.
Someone's going to tell you. The system is going to get you to move.
Yes.
But when you have those moments you can get out of the system just for a second.
Yeah.
Just take a breath and realize like, hey, because and I really like the way his book stated. He's like, everything comes from silence, right?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep.
Everything. Like UFOs. They came from space. And it's silent out there. Okay?
Yes.
You know, like everything comes from silence. So like you have this sense of feeling like, you know, everything comes from nothing. This all comes from nothing, right? Either, you know, whether you believe in God or not, whatever the situation you want to have, it came from like something.
Yeah.
Like, something has started, right? But everything comes from nothing. So if you go back to nothing, you'll find life much easier, much simpler, that type of concept.
Right.
And so if this UFO situation is real, if this comes out to being like there's actual extraterrestrial people or things coming, you know, right? My question is that like it must be impossible to communicate. It has to be, right?
Right.
Because you can't even like.
I mean, but I mean, like, unless it was like what I was mentioning with the government spoon feeding, because they have information as far as like what's going on in connection and communication with them already. You know what I mean? Like that's a possibility too. And like you are right. I actually do spend 30 minutes sometimes a day in silence of just like not having any sound or anything going on. Sometimes like in my car, just like. So yeah, I feel you on that too.
It's utterly important.
Yes.
Not only for your mental space, your mental health, but I think it's this really good. It's a form of meditating, right?
Yeah.
Kind of just focusing on the breath. You know, just focus on the most simple thing.
Yeah.
Which is the breath, because there's so many things that can kind of get you caught up on life.
Yep.
So me and my team, shout outs to the homies. We were talking a lot about like what it is to be thinking, the thought process behind things, especially when it comes to the future and the past, right? Like this whole kind of UFO situation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history behind that. And you can there's a lot of like, you know, I want to call them crazy people, but tinfoil hat individuals. You know what I'm talking about. Don't do that to me, Johnny. You know what I'm talking about, bro. The tinfoil hat people, where they'll be like, you know, the government's trying to program your minds. The waves are coming from your radio set.
I get it at work. I already know what you're talking about.
The waves are coming for your brain and your children. Like, you know, like, whoa. I'm not saying that, you might be right, bro. You might be right.
Yeah, but I mean,
but what is it going to help you sitting there worrying about that? Look at your present moment of your life, right? Focusing on the future, what might happen, focusing on the past. He's like, look, focus on right now. What can you control about now? What can you do about now?
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I find this is the only time I never really bring up this UFO thing. I never talked about it.
Yeah.
Because this is interesting because it doesn't seem like he's fucking around.
No.
He's like, I'll tell you now. Like, there's no like, okay, well, after this hearing, because I ain't trying to like put people out on red. But but when she gets exposed, when she starts going down this rabbit hole, something's going to happen where she's not going to talk about it. I have a feeling. Something's going to happen where she's going to be like, I'm going to be like him now, not saying
it.
You know what I'm talking about?
That, yep.
Because they're just like, some things the public can't know. But why? Why do you think that? Why do you think that? Do you feel like it's ever important to if you were running, again, this is why I like talking about Travis Scott's thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
I don't know if we want to pivot to that, but I'll lead into it. Travis Scott's trying to put on something called Utopia.
Yes.
That word, utopia.
Yes.
Okay. It's a very, very, very loaded word, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, what's it? I mean, I could pull it up. What's the definition of utopia? Does anyone know? Chat, do you guys know? Shoot, let me see.
Yeah, I do not.
Definition of utopia. Obviously, I know the general understanding in my mind.
No place.
It says it doesn't exist.
Literally, no place exists.
What? That can't be real, right? An imagined place or state of things in which everything is perfect. Yeah. He coined the word utopia from the Greek utopos, meaning no place or nowhere. Interesting. It was a pun. The almost identical Greek word utopos means a good place. So at the very heart of the word, it is a vital question: can a perfect world ever be realized? I think that is the key question I wanted to ask here, because it's a bold word to use to have a show. Travis Scott, and I mean, his last, what was it? How long ago? He's done multiple.
Astroworld has been a minute, but he's done
other shows since then.
Yeah, he's done a couple shows since then.
Oh, okay. So my apologies.
Yeah,
but it's interesting.
But he hasn't thrown a festival or anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah.
But to say to try to create a space that's the perfect place. Mm-hmm. And I've seen Travis Scott's music. His music it's on the I'm gonna say the darker side.
Yes, it is
for sure.
Yes, it is.
So to say that's the perfect place, as an artist, I'm curious, right? What do you feel like? What is the perfect place to you? What is this? What is the perfect place? What is that? Right?
Yeah.
I know it's such a crazy question, but I have a feeling that these aliens are not coming from the perfect place, because obviously they can.
They're not dropping into the perfect place either, for sure.
So yeah, what is the perfect place? What do you think needs to change, right?
Well, the perfect place definitely requires more just understanding of history and where people grew up in, the culture that's kind of just been adapted, or just people just need to be more up to date as to why people feel the way that they feel with certain things, but also just outside of understanding, just wanting to understanding that everybody is going through something, and that everybody has their own trauma, their own struggles, or their own blessings that they bring to the table, right? So it's just more understanding, but also just more wanting to do better, wanting to leave an impact on this earth. There's not a lot of people that want to do anything outside of for themselves and maybe their family, but it's just what's your purpose outside of just having a 9-to-5 and doing this and providing what's the impact or the legacy that you want to leave behind? You know what I mean? You can't take anything with you. So it's just more so, I don't know. The perfect place is and to me is just leaving it better than how you had it, and it takes a lot of effort, but it also takes a lot of just understanding and being able to just I don't know, it being able to also attract people or just situations to get you through that.
One of the things I find is hard is let's say, for example, you have this environment or place that you're trying to create. Mm-hmm. You want it to be perfect. Mm-hmm. But the mere fact that you are trying to force your ideology on something is going to create a space that's essentially uneven. There's going to be resistance.
Right.
Because I think it's impossible to ever have a society that's completely 100% just in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But every time you have these leaders, right, who talk about creating an environment of the perfect place,
right,
what ends up happening to the followers or the people is that it ends up shifting the dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? Where they catch on to that, where they say, you know what, I think we can. Mm-hmm. So there's only two options here. Mm-hmm. Either you conform to our kind of ideology, right, of what is the perfect place.
Yeah.
Or we will destroy you.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
We will cleanse you from this earth.
Yeah. Bro.
This is brutal.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how it's possible to ever create a perfect place.
Right. I don't either. Yeah. I believe in bliss. I believe in creating a place that brings you the most happiness and the most peace.
Carving out your piece of the land type of thing. This
is
my space.
Your heaven on earth, or just whatever. I believe in that, but you are right. Nothing is perfect, and the more we're accepting of certain things like that, then the better that we can be able to just like understand and move. You know what I mean? But certain people are just.
So what's the flip side, right? Let's say, for example, you want to create the perfect place, but you understand that in order for me to do that, like you mentioned, the government force educating individuals, force educating people. Like you need to think the way we think. You need to act the way we act. You need to operate the way we act. Right.
Right.
But you also have like that's kind of the either conform or get cleansed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what if the flip side is you let people be just kind of do whatever you want to do, as long as you don't affect or hurt me? Is that possible?
Not now. I
wouldn't say not now.
Yeah, but I think it's something that.
Do you think it's possible for a society to be able to get to, like everyone, to get to a point where kind of literally live and let live?
No, because if it were going to happen. If it would have happened or been close to happening, then like the people that were like that were pushing that and promoting that would not have been like assassinated or like, you know what I mean, like taken from this earth the way that they were as far as their untimely demise. So no, I don't feel like that is possible. I feel like it's probable, but it takes a lot. We're in such a dehumanized state. You can be able to find anything off the internet or just see some things that you may not want to see. You know what I mean? That's just going to like, that may low-key traumatize you. So like, it's too much of that as well as like our own experiences and what we go through to like, I don't know. It's not right now is, I don't see it and I don't feel like it is a possibility, but I feel like, if we have more outspoken leaders who are protected out here and they're doing their things, like, it's, I forget his name. I think it's like Ben Crump. He's very outspoken.
Is he, what is he?
He's black. He's an attorney, like a defense attorney.
Oh, cool. So he's like, okay.
Yeah. So like, but like just more just people that are AOC. I forget her name, but like she's very outspoken. She's young too. Like we need more leaders, more people who are just like willing to just like take that responsibility and not be afraid of like what the outcome or the consequence may be for being outspoken against like the things that they believe that the human beings are on this earth believe in. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna ask you a question. This is the whole premise of this. I was sneaking on you. Yeah. So, you have artists, right? Trying to create a utopia.
Yeah.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Is the spokesperson
of
the idea of what a utopia is.
Right.
I think sometimes people get kind of like, why are you taking it so literal, right? Or like, he's just doing this for trying to create marketing. This is like a marketing thing. Which, hey, dude, look, do your thing. I'm not knocking him.
Right.
But I'm just talking about like, okay, well, what if he did do this, but he's trying to answer a question? Can you create a space that is a really cool space, right? Some of his other ventures didn't go as great,
right?
But some of them, it could get better, right?
Right.
In general, in theory, and that sort of
stuff. Right.
So my question for you is: that do you think it's possible, right? Or what do you think the artist's role is on creating a utopia?
To bring the art. If you're an artist and you're not bringing the art, you're not even like you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Outside, like. It's one thing to be inspired, right? And to like take a step back and like, like take a break from it. But if you're an artist, you know what I mean? A part of you has the audacity to think that like what you provide is a part of the utopia. You know what I mean? Like,
it can make the world a better place.
It can make the world a better place. It's very, like, even if it's therapeutic towards you, it could bring healing towards other people. It could bring influence. You know what I mean? To, like, want to, like, do better for themselves. So you just have to bring the art. The art is a part of your utopia, and then that will attract You know what I mean? Like that'll attract the tribe or the energy that you would need to continue to create that, or you know, well, to create that, but also like you're gonna experience just, I don't know, life is all about experiences. It's a duality too. You know what I mean? Like outside of the utopia, you're gonna have your struggles, you're gonna have your hell, you're gonna have your whatever. But that's what keeps you going towards like the bliss or your utopia.
Okay. So, how we doing, Sarah? We Gucci? So one of the things I'm curious here, right? Mm-hmm. Is art. Okay, I'm gonna give you 4 scenarios.
Yes.
Okay. Is art perfect, imperfect, perfectly imperfect, or imperfectly perfect? We're gonna break that down one by one. Okay. Is art perfect? Is it like it is what it is? It should never be touched. It should be, right? Is art imperfect? There's things you could change. There's things you'll make it better, right? Is art perfectly imperfect, right? Like it's made to be imperfect, like it's destined, it's fateful for this, right? Or is it imperfectly perfect, right? It is something that you wish you could make it better, but it is what it is, right? I don't know if I explained this right, Chad, please don't kill me, okay? But I feel like that's a good synopsis of kind of what I'm trying to get, right? Do you think art, right? Because you said in order to, for what an artist's role is to bring it to the utopia, right? Is to have is to make something to bring art right into a utopia, and the utopia is supposed to be perfect,
right?
So I'm curious on like how does the art play into that role in that space?
For a lot of people that are up and coming, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like perfectly imperfect, no matter how much you work on it or just tweak it or just do whatever. At the end of the day, you're gonna run it back and listen to it and just be like, oh yeah, this could have been better, or it could have been working on this. Because like at the end of the day, like a lot of us are as big as fans as we are of ourselves and promoting ourselves as we need to. We're also our own worst critic, and we can also discredit very subconsciously like what's going on, because like it's not the way that we want it to be. Or it's not, things didn't go like quite how we had envisioned it in our head. So like it's very much perfectly imperfect. So yeah,
I feel like one of the things I want to bring up is political action from artists. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember this Jay-Z track, right? Mm-hmm. Where he says whole nigga, you know, if I talk, I don't want to play it, but I'm gonna. Do you think we're gonna get copyrighted? We might, but if I play like just like,
what's the song?
1 second.
Okay. Because maybe we don't need to copyright it.
Yeah. The story of OJ.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not black. I'm OJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you could tell like he's trying to push it. He's trying to, and through art, push an agenda.
Yeah.
Like, no, I hate to say the word, but it's an
agenda. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's an agenda.
Yeah.
Of an ideology, a philosophy, a psychology of like how he sees the world, right? That's art.
Right.
So actually, that's a good question. Before I say this, because this is my opinion.
Yeah.
But don't put words in your mouth.
Okay.
Is art I think it's the way it's supposed to go. Is art an interpretation of life? Or is life an interpretation of art? How does it go, Sarah? Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, shoot. Okay.
I feel like art is an interpretation of life.
Okay, explain.
Well, in the story of OJ, even in 444, he's trying to put people on the game, but also just like, you know, like it's still nigga at the end of the day. Like it doesn't matter like what you do, even for like here, right? Like in America in general. Like, we are looked at as the villain in society. It's like no matter how much good that we do in the earth, you can have something that may happen to you with like the police being involved or the news or whatever. It's just having something on your name, and that will always be like just carried with you no matter how much good you do. And I feel like that could be the same for human beings in general, but like more so for like people who look like us. So the story of OJ, I feel like makes a lot of sense and resonated with people, because it's like, yo, it's like you can be rich, you can be balling, you can be struggling, you can be whatever, but you're still looked at by America as, you know what I mean? So,
but can I challenge that a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not challenging that ideology.
Yeah.
I think there is a sense of the world has changed. I don't think we're in a race world.
No.
Yes, we are. I think we're more in a class war. There's a lot of poverty versus rich, and it's very very classist now.
Yes.
Have you seen white people out in like the Midwest getting murdered? Like, dude, you, your homie, they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
Damn. Like, where's your people at? Like,
yeah.
Have you seen this just jacked up, especially the ones hooked up on a lot of drugs and meth and all that. So I just
Right.
feel like the race war is still there, but it's not nowhere near what my answers or our ancestors went through. Right. But what I think is something that's interesting is the art imitating life. I feel like it's a little bit of the life imitating art, because you see some of these, and again, chat, don't take this the wrong way, but you see a lot of white kids, right? Dressing up hip hop. They come from these billionaire families. They're not they're trying to their life is imitating the art.
That's society, but that's where we provide the balance, because a lot of the stuff that we talk about is based on situations that have happened to us. Granted, you have your Playboy Cardis, you know what I mean? You have your Travis Scotts, who are just more so turned up, and that's where their energy comes from. It's the aggressiveness of the things that they had gone through, and just all the stuff that they have built up in them that just so happened to pertain to a certain demographic, you know what I mean, of teenagers who are rebellious, who just it's the same thing with Tyler the Creator when he first started, and Odd Future and everything, and he represented a bunch of rebellious just teenagers, or Eminem, who was during my time, who was just representing a bunch of rebellious, just so it just it continues to just evolve. I feel and it's just more so and it's evolved based on people's influences, and you can say that I guess life imitates art, but a lot of the people that grow up and being influenced by this, that's just how their life ends up shaping up. You know what I mean? And
I have to do this to you. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna try to see if I can get you to convert.
Yeah.
You talk about this scenario where, but let me ask you, who do you think is going to these Travis Scott shows? Do you think it's some bunch of black kids, or do you think they're a bunch of white kids trying to find utopia? Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be white kids, but I also feel
so they're trying. This is my ideology, right? This is not ideology. Let me change. This is my perception, right, of the situation.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking way deeper. I'm digging deep in the brainstem here for something. This may be this is just marketing tool, but I'm just going into it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's pull, right?
You know what I mean?
Because the choices of words matter. He sat there and thought about that for real. He invested money into having a space like this because he's trying to play. It's marketing, but these kids are looking at it very differently. They just saw kids get trampled and die, and they're just thinking you know what? I can't wait to go to Travis Scott's show. That sounds like a great utopia place that I want to go. There's a sense of what you mentioned of pain that people are going through, and you can find that through art. You can feel like you're a part of something, the rebellious side, right? But what is the utopia for these kids, right? Trying to seek, especially in an image, and because Travis Scott is an idol in a way, shape, or form, right? Right. Especially his lover and everything. Right. There's a whole dynamic there.
Yeah.
What do you think is the utopia? What do you think is the affection of what these kids, especially these kids coming from very wealthy middle class kids, it's not like these tickets are $20.
No, bro.
Yeah. It's not like they're just we're just gonna be there for a night. They're trying to get a hotel. They're gonna fly there. This is a thing.
But see, that's the thing though. That's no different than the raves and the certain events that people go to, including certain teenagers or certain people that shouldn't be of age, and they go anyway, and they're on drugs or just on certain things, and to them that's their utopia. So I just feel the influence of the rap scene has created a lot more just people who are out of tune with the reason why the art is there is just more so like how it makes them feel. You know what I mean? And like, there's not a lot of people who, I don't know. Music is just more so. It can influence a lot of different things, whether it's like the positive in people or the rebellious in people, or just like, but it's all phases too at the end of the day. Like, I don't, the same people who are going to be into Travis Scott when they're 15, 16, turning 18, 19, 20 years old are going to be looking down on the people who are 13, 14 years old who are looking up at the next like bad influence. You know what I mean? And like, that's something that's just never gonna change. But at the same time, like,
but why? If this is the utopia,
yeah.
If this is okay, I'm trying to like, but you got it. You are the UFO, okay?
Yes.
Who have just like, you don't know what the fuck is going on, but you gotta advocate against it. Like, you gotta tell us like, okay, what's going on? Like, I just landed here. I didn't even know this was gonna happen today.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Why am I'm the spokesperson for the entire world? Yeah, you are today, right now. I need you to fight and tell me. I'm really curious. Right?
Yeah.
Why is so many people attracted to that rebellious side? You, at one point in time, right? You had a really, not I want to say a tough upbringing, but
yeah.
You went through some shit, right?
Yeah.
Like we all do, right? And you found some people, like, I don't know if you went down on the Travis Scott case, but like, you kind of understand that feeling of wanting to rebel, wanting to get out of that space. You're an artist as well, so you're very one thing like I don't want to call them empath, but artists have a genuine understanding of how to connect with others, artists and their art stuff. Yeah, that's like that's why the artists are kind of artists. You know? So I'm curious here, what do you think is the appealing from multiple different cultures, whether it be white, and again, this is mostly specific on race. Yeah, I even want to go as far as class. Yeah, social status. Yeah, of the appeal of kind of the rebellion. It's something that's gone over decades, hundreds of centuries of time. Yeah. What do you think about the artist world and why people are trying to be a part of this kind of rebellious culture and these waves of cycles go through? What is about the rebellion? What is it about? What do you think is about rebellion, especially seeking this kind of utopia?
Yeah, I mean,
even if it is a phase.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, it's something that a lot of people who, I feel like it's a lot of people who want to be like famous, but they don't want that industry type of like vibes or just want to be attached to anything. Like, it's just on some like, no, I'm gonna be my own person and do this, and it's middle fingers and like all this other things. And I don't know, I feel like more people appeal to that now because of the intense times that are happening, especially like we just went over a whole pandemic. You're not able to like communicate or hang out with people in the physical like you would.
That's a huge point.
So I feel like the disconnection between like actual like human beings in the physical sense is just like, there's a disconnection with that, because when you haven't communicated with people in a physical setting, and you're stuck in like texting, or you're stuck in the internet, or you're stuck in just like this world, it's not real, right? It's not a place. Like, you're gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna feel how you want to feel and say what you want to say, because there's no consequences to that. There's no whatever in your mind. And so like, when you go to these shows and you're a teenager and you haven't been to a show, and you don't go to shows like this, and you don't go to kickbacks because like they don't allow that at the houses unless like, you know what I mean, they're taking off. You know what I mean? Like on a trip, you're going to want to rebel at a place where there's like, to you, there's no rules. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a place. Like, it's just for you, them to release or feel free or just do whatever. So like, I feel like the rebellion does come from a lot of things that's happening right now, but just a disconnection from like actually being human and like taking care of yourself or checking in on yourself and seeing what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people don't, it's the same thing with the silence. People don't take enough time to like really like like check in on themselves, or just like be around silence, or be comfortable with things being quiet around them because they're so used to the noise that goes on in their head, or just like on a day-to-day basis. Like, I don't know, people take a lot of things for granted, and human connection is one of them. So I feel like, you know, when it comes to these shows, like, yes, it's going to be their utopia. They're going to be free because they don't do this shit anywhere else.
I think he did a really good job. Chad, give him a hand clap. I low-key think he did a great job of, like, trying to advocate for, like, you know, if you had to. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with it either. Like, I also feel like Utopia is just like a pickup from Astroworld, where Astroworld is this like whole like, it was supposed to be this fun place and kind of carnival vibes when you hear the album and everything, and like Utopia is like a step above that. So, but I mean, I don't know. I haven't thrown a festival, let alone like have to be responsible for thousands of people.
Yeah,
lawsuits.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? It's crazy that they're 15 and can come to a concert. I feel like that's crazy,
bro.
I don't want to say like that's right. I don't want to tell kids what they get, but like, dude, if my kid was like, "Hey, Texas. I'm gonna go to a concert,"
yeah, now Texas is crazy, bro.
I'd be thinking like, you're 15, you got school tomorrow. It's like, yeah, but I want to go to a concert.
I want to see Travis Scott. I can't imagine me telling like my mom at 15, 16, "Hey, I'm gonna go to a Travis Scott concert."
Okay, but and you can't be like, with what money? Like, Mom, come on now, it's 2023. Come on, there's OnlyFans, Mom. Like, of course I got fucking money. You know, what do you think?
I got OnlyFans money.
So, but you have to be 18 to be on OnlyFans. Like, you think anyone on OnlyFans 18? Come on,
yo,
like it's crying, yo, for real, bro.
Yo, Snapchat,
no, and then easy marketing, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, yo, listen, we're about to get canceled, Sarah. This might be the last show we can ever do.
Not at all,
but full stop. You know this shit's happening. You know that it's an easy market. You go to school, and then your classmates are like, "Yeah, man, Teresa has an OnlyFans, and Teresa's making like all these." Yo, Sarah, come on now, Sarah. Listen to me. Stop. Don't do that, man. Full stop. You know that shit's real, and it's crazy. These kids are getting what do you do? Like.
Yeah, for real.
So listen, if you had my daughter, and I'm not gonna ever admit this, cancel this, okay? Delete this, right? My daughter came to me and said, "Dad, listen, there ain't shit you can do." I'm like, "Okay, you think okay?" But actually, I'm gonna ask you this, Johnny. You don't have to answer this, but answer it, okay?
Yes.
If your daughter came to you, right, and we can't. I don't know. Can we even put this as a reel? We're gonna find out.
Okay.
If your daughter came to you, right, like that,
yeah.
I could do one or two things, okay?
Yeah.
I can sell drugs, or I can do OnlyFans, right? You can't stop me, okay?
Sell drugs. Selling drugs. I'm so sorry. If I had to pick between the lesser of two evils, I would much rather have her selling drugs and have the hard conversation of like,
dude, these OnlyFans girls are making millions.
Yo, and
I'm listen, Sarah, look. Never, ever would I ever say, like, you know, but I would think about it. I'm not going to say, yeah. I would say the same shit. I would say something. But I would think like to myself, like, I would sit there, I would be like, I would actually I think it'd be a good 2 seconds. Like, she going to see me into my face. Like, I'd be like, damn, she can make like a good two. Like, me and Sarah compare this house off like today. Like,
if she can make it that much, she can make it modeling for sure.
Hey, I like the ethical. That wasn't the scenario, Chris. Yeah. You can't do that to me. It's trying to be like throwing third scenario.
Something, bro. Because the drugs is there. The drugs is an easy conversation to have. You just can't have the strikes. The OnlyFans.
Damn.
Like. Anytime, like,
I think they're finding out that the OnlyFans models is fucked up. They're actually in different countries.
Yeah.
And they're actually being human trafficked.
Yo, even with the AI is gonna mess up a lot of things too, because
you heard what's going on with that craziness too?
Yeah, man. Like, you can easily get misconstrued, or you can easily like get confused with like what you think is real and what's not. And a matter of fact, there's people that are out here on social media that be posing as like different people. Like, there where you can be able to get scammed out of like a lot of different things. And so, including like like OnlyFans, or just people who feel like think that they're models and all this other stuff, or you people that you may believe that are models, and they're out here just selling stuff, and it's like random people from like countries that are not even here. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's a lot, bro. It's really,
if you are a government, right? Do you can't like. I remember, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I can't believe I'm about to admit this, guys. Chat. I'm not gonna lie. I can't believe I'm about to admit it. I don't know why I left my arm so much, but one of the things I find crazy, right? You remember back when the day when you had to like sign into like Facebook or like MySpace, and it said you had to be 18. I thought if you clicked 18 and you weren't 18, I thought the feds would knock on the door. Like, I was thinking like, fuck. Oh man, if I click this shit, I'm about to get fucking lit up. And I remember just being like, yeah, I can't have a Facebook, man. And they're like, why? It's like and I would think like, your parents must be letting you do it. I didn't know that you were just like, am I tripping? You know that? Look, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, right? Consent, yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, you have to be 18 to start this shit. I'm like, fuck, damn it, I'm not 18. And so I thought they would like literally find me out. No. And then I don't know what day it was, but when I went home, and then my homies were like, and this was when X-rated videos were like, you know, viral. Like everyone and fucking moms was like, yo, man, you gotta watch X. I was like, yeah, man, but like, dude, like, no, man, like, you know, the feds, man.
Bro.
You remember like the shit when because I hear, you know what it was? Actually, full stop. What it was that I heard a story, and I knew this shit was real. But I heard a story of someone downloading off of like LimeWire, right? Like music.
Yes.
And the feds literally busted in, like took their shit. Like, what the fuck? You like, dude, you're downloading 1 million songs. What are you fucking doing? And then the dude was like, oh, I just, you know, just like this 12-year-old kid just like downloading fucking music. It's like he's illegally downloading music on your fucking school. Like, that's a felony. Oh shit, we didn't know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
Right? So I thought they were gonna come and take me. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna get. So I was a good kid, man. I'm so pissed. You know how many things I left off on.
They ain't got time for you, bro. They ain't gonna be busting.
See, now I know they were on these UFOs. They had no fucking time with me. They were trying to keep these UFOs on it.
Finessing us from the UFOs, bro. They ain't running in your house.
I thought they were gonna come, bro.
Because you lied about you being 18.
I was so like, damn, I don't know how these people are getting away with it. But when they watch, I'm gonna be like, I told you so. When they fucking bust in your house, and they find out you're not 18,
not at all.
They're taking your ass to jail. I was thinking, I don't know what it was, but I was just had this fear of the internet, thinking like, dude, they're gonna get us. They're gonna get our ass. And now I just can't believe.
Yes,
I just
the
can't
lies.
believe.
See,
if I was 15, bro, oh my god, Sarah, they don't know. I'd be a degenerate.
I feel that. See? You see that? That right there.
But what is it about? What is it about being 15 and being a degenerate? You know? Why is 15-year-olds?
Because like you get unlocked to a whole bunch of different things, man.
But why not like 10? Why not like 24? Like what is it about 15 at this number?
It's the teens, man. It's the teens. Once you get out of elementary school, right, and you get to junior high and like high school, like you're in your teens. So you're with a whole bunch of different kids, whole bunch of different people, a whole bunch of different experiences. It's like, bro, it's overwhelming. It could be overwhelming. Like, I went from Pokemon cards, you know what I mean, to like Too Short. Shake That Monkey. Like, what? Like 2 years in between that. Like, you know what I mean? Of just like, yo, like, this is crazy. Like,
I used to love Yu-Gi-Oh! Then I loved boobies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just the transition of like, what happened? What happened in between that?
It's fucked up, isn't it?
Yo.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was so much more simpler.
Yo.
Life was easy,
Life was.
Dude.
Life was. And that's why it's like.
Fucked up, isn't it?
It gets complicated.
So if you're that alien, right?
Yes.
Who crash landed.
Yes.
You were just like that. The dude sitting on like, right? You're talking to your homies,
right?
And they're like, dude, you're really gonna do it? It's like, yeah, I heard that there's something going around here. I'm gonna go there. Okay. Yes. It's time. They're like, dude, I don't think you should do it. Dude, listen, I got this, okay? They're gonna be the nicest motherfucking people. Who would it be? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. First sighting of UFOs was back in like the 20s or some shit, right? And let's say low key, you lived for like 500 years. And you landed and you're like, oh, okay, awesome. Hello. I come in peace, like Pac, you know? And they're like, get him. Like, what the fuck?
Yes.
And then they take, you have been captured. Let's say low key. I don't know if this is true, right?
Yeah.
But you've been captured and been sitting here for 50 years and like, where my homies at? Like,
yes.
you know?
Bro.
Wouldn't you be thinking like, where the homies at?
Why ain't nobody gonna come get me?
What else? They probably thinking the same thing. Like, no, we sent another dude over there. That planet's hostile. They need another billion years.
Nah, bro.
You
That's
think?
messed up, man.
I think maybe that's what it is. I think because I feel
crazy.
like I would just feel like it's almost impossible. How does no one know? I just feel like it just almost is.
Well, you wouldn't double back for your homie if you left him.
Well, of course.
But that's what I'm saying.
But that's why my question. This is actually, I'm gonna pull a full circle. I got my final. I think I like 1 or 2 questions left. I actually want to finish this. I got 1 or 2 questions left. Okay. My final 2 questions here. Right.
Yeah.
We have a world that we have.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And there is also this potential non-human. Guys, listen. It wasn't from my mouth. I played it from Twitter, so you know it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Twitter, you know it's
exactly.
true. Okay,
It's
Look,
real.
It's real.
This is real.
This is a tweet.
Yes.
Okay, we all know this shit happened.
We know.
Okay, this is the internet. It's fucking validated. Okay. And you're this unhuman, non-human thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they go through something similar that we go through? Do you think that we, all people, non-human, human, go through similar experiences?
Yes. Yes, I do. I feel like curiosity is the main one.
Ooh, that's a really good answer.
Yeah, because curiosity is that's the reason why, take off to space, want to know what's out, what else is out there. I think they might have been the same thing, vice versa, and it's just like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like something happened, just crash landed, and it's like, damn, like there's no communication, there's no way of getting any, you know what I mean? It's like a prisoner, you're a prisoner on Earth. But yeah, curiosity, I feel like is one, if not like the main thing. Yeah. So even with the wild, right? Like wild animals who end up in fucking neighborhoods and shit. It's off of curiosity. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
Damn, that's such a true word.
So yeah.
Curiosity is the common emotion from pretty much all creatures.
Mm-hmm.
That's such an interesting terminology. Okay, then let me ask you, right? Okay, you got 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But some say there's a third one.
Yeah.
Do you think non-human people are living in the third eye? Like I don't know. I've never done any like shrooms or anything, but potentially I have a podcast coming up that I might be.
Yes.
It's gonna be wild.
Yes.
So I'm curious if you feel like there's a plane of existence where non-humans live. Like it's not like they live on ours, but they live on the there is a. You understand what I'm trying to ask you? I don't know too much about the third eye. I don't know how you would describe the third eye. I don't know if you would want to, but how would you? Oh, actually, I'm gonna. It's time.
Yeah.
I want to test you. How would you describe the third eye? And do you think it's possible for the non-human to live in that existence, or people, or something could be living in that non-existent and not that plane of existence?
Yeah, the third eye, the pineal gland or the all-seeing eye helps like be able to see things. I feel like kind of like outside of like what the reality is. I feel like there are people who do practice living in that or do speak upon that as far as being, influenced by their third eye. And I do feel like there is something out there outside of like that is non-human that may be living or existing through that. It's something that it's always been, well, for the last like 10 years that I've been listening to rap, it's something that's always kind of just been talked about. But I feel like it's more so something that people are more, like influenced by now, just like seeing things more so like not just for the reality, but like outside of the box, outside of like, you know what I mean, in the grand scheme or just like a whole scope. So yes, to answer your question.
I want to test this here.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think what you gain the third eye from is living in the third eye? So, my example, there's been things shown that mushrooms actually have a brain. You hear what I'm talking about? Where like they have synapses and they'll send signals to each other. I know mushrooms are plants. Come on, people. We're not losing our minds here.
Right.
But do you think that this plant is potentially living, or frogs? Because frogs is another example of people licking frogs and they're becoming psychosis.
All of a sudden, yeah.
Do you think there's creatures existing or... Oh, man, shit. This is a whole... I don't think my language could even break this to try to explain what I'm trying to put into words. But do you think that there's creatures able to communicate and or... fuck, dude. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sorry, guys.
To like connect with us.
Sarah's like, I've lost her.
Like, be able to connect with us.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, sure, yeah. Because could you be talking to a mushroom? Dead ass. Like, I mean, straight up. Could you be like in? Okay, listen, guys. Sarah think I'm crazy.
I've done shrooms before. I've always found like,
because that's what I'm sorry, just to say, is I've heard that the third eye is supposed to be a plane of existence. It's not just like a you're able to see things. Okay, maybe that's that's maybe right. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm thinking it wrong. I'm thinking that you're going to a different reality and you're seeing something in a different reality. But obviously, well, because man, that's such interesting. Sorry,
outside of the reality.
If you're sitting there, like maybe if you're like in the forest, like like you're in the forest, right, and you're sitting there. I'm saying hypothetically, right? This is a hypothetically podcast,
right?
Hypothetically,
right.
If you hypothetically are sitting in the forest and you see like a mushroom, and like you go into that plane of existence, you eat one of them.
Yes.
Yes. Do you think at that moment when you're looking, and that mushroom is looking back? Fucking wild question, but I'm curious to see if you think that, because that's what you gain the experience from, right? The psychosis from.
Right.
So I'm curious to see. Do you think that's possible, or do you think that's what's happening
with like the alien life forms, or
no? Just like okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've never talked to shrooms on shrooms. So I wouldn't.
That'd be crazy, right?
But I will file that. I will file that for later on.
That's so smart when it comes out of your mouth. But I feel like there's like. I feel like listen, look. I don't feel like it's that far off though. Like,
no,
for real. Though.
No,
like I feel like if you're gaining the eye, they must have the eye. They're just like, look, we're looking at each other now. We're having like. We're going through it together. Like, this is what I go through on a daily basis, this mushroom.
Yeah.
Now you're just getting a taste of it. You're not even getting the full, this is like real deal Holyfield right now.
Yeah. But I feel like also when you're on psychedelics too, it's all about the mindset. It's all about your mindset, like where you're at. Like,
okay.
If you're not in a good mental space to be doing psychedelics, then you shouldn't be doing psychedelics. I've seen actually people, who've been on the wrong end of that, and because they have it allowed their like ego to be consumed within them to like have things that were going on that wasn't a part of the reality. So like you can it's all about your mindset, where you're at, where you want to go, wherever you want to go. That's where it's most likely gonna take you.
So then my final question for tonight. I'm gonna put it all together, guys. The light turned off, so we know it's time. Okay? You have these non-human individuals who came here. The ability just to do that.
Yes.
Hypothetically.
Yes.
Everyone we're saying hypothetically, right? Means you're coming from a place. You could be fleeing. We don't know. It could be fleeing, but let's say, hypothetically, that they're coming from a utopia. Right? Okay? But since they crossed over to a non-utopia, their machine it started being perfect. The perfect machine died, right? And they crash landed here. I told you, tinfoil hat people. You get here,
right?
the question here is that, do you think it's ever possible, right? If we go back, if we somehow find where they come from, we went there.
Yeah.
That they would treat us better than we treated them.
Hell no. Hell to the no.
You think it's on site? You think it's on site?
I think it'll be something more fearful of like us reaching them than them reaching us. I think it's more something that's just like, because that's the reason why we haven't reached or seen anything outside of like videos. We haven't, like, we've traveled in space supposedly, like we haven't seen anything or witnessed anything or like pictured anything outside of like the meteors and the moon and the stars and everything. So I feel like there's a reason for that. And I feel like if we were to like even with like a spaceship, like there's so much news that goes around when a spaceship takes off. Like I can't imagine how it would be 4 or 5 years or just a year or just no connection with the spaceship. And then they come, like they wouldn't be coming back. You really think, like, you know what I mean? Like when you think about like they would, I feel like if anything were to see us in their planet or just whatever their space, it's the same thing like a wild animal. You know what I mean? They're just gonna get into survival mode, and that's just like, I don't know about that. I feel like let them come find us. You know what I mean? If anything,
Johnny, you got a song dropping.
Yeah. Oh yes. Outside of that, what a great segue from the utopia into the music. Yes. French in Hell dropping soon this Friday.
Hey, yeah, so, get his stuff.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, man?
All music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. You can find me on YouTube.
Hey.
You know what I mean? We're out here too on YouTube. In the streets. Also. But yeah. Just all music platforms going to be released. More music too coming.
And what's the do you have like a specific handle just for them to know?
Oh, Jonnie Bars. On Twitter, it's Johnny the Bar DeLorean. On Instagram, it's Johnny Be Good. But either way, it's Jonnie Bars. JONNIE Bars with an S. Yes.
Guys, listen. Connect. I love this conversation because I like someone who I can ask these insane questions to, and you actually respond. People don't look at me like I'm like, yo, there's something wrong.
Yo.
You know, there's no way this is real. You know, one of the things is that I like to do is be curious. You know.
For real.
You know, ask questions. Then how you know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for your work. I love your art and what you've been creating.
Appreciate that.
And I think it's really important for the community to kind of get together and be able to kind of help each other, better understand each other, but the world and everything in whole. You know? And so I really was excited about this conversation, specifically with you, because I feel like you're someone that I can jump into very out of this world conversations that you like. And again, for everyone who doesn't know, he had no clue, chat. He had no clue. He literally sat down. He's like, all right. Awesome. I'm excited to be here. I was like, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do it then. We just literally turned on the show, and I said, great, let's get it. I'm going to play the show. I just played it for him. He had no clue about anything was going on at all. I told him a little bit about the UFO. Real. I think he kind of heard it a little bit. Yeah. But outside of that, he was just like, dude, he's just on for the ride. So I really respect someone who just comes and sits down.
Absolutely.
And just gets interrogated.
Yeah. I'm not an alien, by the way. I'm very much human out here. I'm very much human.
You know, they don't have to know that. Okay?
I hurt like everybody else. You know?
Well, to everyone who joined us tonight, we're really appreciative. Please check out our AM show with Jonnie Bars. He went through his life story. I think there's so much to learn from this, from him and what he's been through, what his goals are, and what he's, essentially just his life in general. I think perspective is so important for us to be able to grow together. So I'm really just excited to have him on the show again and be able to just kind of like jump into a funny conversation and go and do that. And hopefully we can always do it again.
Yeah.
So, but to everyone, man, as always, like, comment, subscribe, get in contact with the homies and join our Discord channel. We always want to be able to share This is again a fresh channel for us, the Beanie After Dark. So I think we're streaming on Kick, Twitch. We're streaming on YouTube, so please, feel free to kind of like just connect with us, man. We really appreciate it, all the love.
What does B&E stand for?
It's the beginning of the never ending. Unfortunately, this is ending, and everyone.
How ironic!
But it's not ending yet. We're gonna have another show. Catch us this Friday. Actually, hold up. Catch us this Monday. We're gonna have a show, and we're gonna be a little bit more consistent, guys. We're gonna be trying to figure out a better way to get this show kind of processed. So. And we're really excited. So connect with us, comment, like, subscribe, do the thing. And to all, good night, peace, love, and happiness, even after death, guys.
Thank you.
Deuces.